So good morning friends. Let's go to the next part of the chapter 1, reproduction in lower and higher plants, part 3. Here we are going to talk about the next step, that is part 3, sexual reproduction, where we'll see about the development of male gametophyte. So for that matter we must know the structure of flower. So in the part 3 we'll see the introduction, then structure of flower, structure of anther, microsporogenesis, that is formation of microspore म्हणजेच pollen grain, structure of male gamete म्हणजे pollen grain चं structure कसं असतं, आणि शेवटी development of male gametophyte. So let us introduce this. As we know, flower is a specialized organ for the purpose of sexual reproduction. It forms these haploid gametes and ensures the process of fertilization, and that is what it is very important structure in higher plants, flowering plants. Now let's see the structure of flower, review what we have learned in 11th, morphology. So this flower is a reproductive organ which has two holes, a non-essential hole and essential hole. Now in the non-essential hole, calyx corolla is playing a role additionally, म्हणून त्याला आपण supportive holes पण म्हणतो. But essential hole is that hole which is responsible for reproduction. So these holes will go in detail, but in this lecture we'll talk about only androecium. So androecium is made up of number of units known as stamens, and stamen has three parts: filament, connective, and the anther. You can see in the diagram, this is the filament. Now this is the anther yellow and background is a connective. So stamen shows these three parts. So number and the length is variable in different plants, and they favor that type of method of pollination. So let's go to the structure of anther. So we'll focus on the anther. Now here it is a stamen. Stamen, we have already learned about that. It is bilobed, dithecous, and had a longitudinal groove. You can see this longitudinal groove where it is attached to filament. So there are so many these stamens present. So stamens are the members of androecium. It's a male organ. Now let's see the details of the anther. If you see the anther, it is a tetralocular, tetra chamber. चार चेंबर त्याच्यामध्ये दिसतात आपल्याला. So each chamber is called pollen chamber or pollen sac or microsporangia. Now this microsporangia develops to form pollen sacs, and further they show lots of pollen grains. You can see here. Now in the next slide we'll see the transverse section of pollen grain and its structure. So here you can see that these are the pollen chambers which contain pollen grains. So technically it has three layers which are supportive layers, and the fourth layer is a tapetum which is a nutritive layer. So epidermis, endothecium, middle layers 2 to 3, and finally the tapetum. So tapetum encircles the mother cells, that is the sporogenous tissue. You can see here. Further, we'll go again in detail of this structure and see the tapetum. Tapetum happens to be very important. It can be asked in the final examination. What is the significance of tapetum? Where this layer is present, MCQ, in NEET examination or CET, they will ask you this. So tapetum is the compactly arranged cell layer after these three layers of cells. So this tapetum is having single or multinucleate structure, consists of homogeneous diploid cells. Further, these diploid cells, if you see, they are going to form pollen grains, and the process is called as microsporogenesis. Now microspore mother cell, that is also called pollen mother cell, PMC. Now this is a pollen sac. It contains lot of cells. These cells are called pollen mother cells. So these pollen mother cells are diploid in nature. They undergo two meiotic divisions simultaneously, and they produce tetrad, 4 cells which are haploid in nature, and they gives rise to pollen grains. So each mother cell gives rise to 4 pollen grains. That is the importance. So you must remember the question. Numerical problems will be asked on this in the NEET exam. So if you want 200 pollen grains, how many mother cells will be responsible, or how many, suppose I have 10 mother cells, how much pollen grains they will produce? That is a numerical type of question. Further, this microsporogenesis leads to the formation of spores, and these spores are called microspores or pollen grains. Now these pollen grain, they develop inside microsporangia म्हणजे pollen chamber मध्ये तयार होतात. Now this is further grows and grows, further develops into the granular cytoplasm, the vacuoles, and a big nucleus. Further, that divides the complete cell. Microspore divides into two cellular structure. One is a very small cell called generative, and bigger cell called the vegetative cell. Let's see the structure in the next slide again. But you can see the lots of pollen grains after maturation they dehisce, means they are distributed. बाहेर टाकले जातात. So they are released from the anther. Now see the structure. Now structure of pollen grain. You can see the beautiful, decorative and designed pollen grains here. It is about 20 to 50 mm in diameter, generally spherical. Male gamete त्याला म्हणतो आपण, surrounded by plasma membrane. Then pollen grain has two layers. Exine is outer spiny thick layer and inner, that is a intine layer, and that intine is thin layer. So go to the next part and we'll see the structure of exine. Now exine is a hard outermost coating, spiny, tough, because of the chemical it has known as sporopollenin. Now this sporopollenin is highly resistant to organic materials. Chemical ला सुद्धा ते रेजिस्ट करतो, टेम्परेचर ला रेजिस्ट करते, स्ट्रॉंग ऍसिड मध्ये त्याच्यावर परिणाम होत नाही, एन्झाइम ला डिग्रेड करता येत नाही, वगैरे वगैरे. सो मेनी प्रोटेक्टिव्ह नेचर्स. एक्झाइन हॅज ॲपर्चर्स. जर्म पोअर बघा, या इथे हे गॅप दिसत आहेत, त्यांना म्हणतात जर्म पोअर. तिथे स्पोरोपोलेनिन ऍबसेंट असतो. MCQ अगेन. Now these pollen grains are preserved as a fossil for longer years. अनेक वर्ष ठेवता येतात त्यांना, कारण sporopollenin doesn't allow to decay. आणि that is what it shows lots of designs and decorations. Now intine is a small layer and it is a very thin layer, continuous and made up of this cellulose and pectin. आतला thin layer आहे. Further, let us go to the डिटेल स्ट्रक्चर. दोन सेलचं स्ट्रक्चर आहे. एक व्हेजिटेटिव्ह सेल मोठी सेल असते, त्याच्यात इरेग्युलर मोठा न्यूक्लियस आहे, आणि जनरेटिव्ह सेल जी छोटीशी असते, जी ह्या व्हेजिटेटिव्ह सेलमध्ये स्विमिंग करते. तर ही दोन सेल्ड स्ट्रक्चर असेल तर त्याला म्हणायचं मॅच्युअर्ड पोलन ग्रेन. फर्दर यू कॅन सी, आता हे पोलन ग्रेन पासून आपल्याला पुढे काय तयार होताना दिसतंय. तर दोन सेलची स्टेज ही काही प्लांट्स मध्ये दिसते, काही सेलमध्ये तीन, काही प्लांट्स मध्ये तीन सेल स्ट्रक्चर पण दिसतं. त्याच्यामध्ये ह्या जनरेटिव्ह सेलचे परत डिव्हिजन होते आणि दोन सेल तयार होतात. सो 3 सेल स्टेज. यानंतर जो पुढचा भाग आहे त्याच्यात आता ह्या पोलन ग्रेन पासून मेल गॅमेटोफाइट कसा तयार होतो, दॅट इज कॉल्ड एज डेव्हलपमेंट ऑफ मेल गॅमेटोफाइट. सिंपल प्रोसेस आय विल टेल यू. सो दिस इज anther. This is pollen grain. Now this is a pollen grain which further grows and develops into mature pollen grain, which is a 2-celled stage. Out of this generative cell comes out through the germ pore and it forms the tube. So first tube nucleus or the vegetative nucleus comes out and this generative nucleus remain behind. Further, the generative nucleus undergoes mitotic division and it forms 2 male nuclei or 2 male gametes. So the stage in which pollen tube two male nuclei and a tube nucleus is present, it is called as male gametophyte. Now let us see into the next stage. So this is how the male gametophyte is formed. So pollen grain, germination, ओके, त्या सेलचं जर्मिनेशन झालं आणि इथे 3 न्यूक्लिएट स्टेज तयार झाली. सो सेकंड मायटोटिक डिव्हिजन टेक्स प्लेस ओनली इन द जनरेटिव्ह सेल, नॉट इन अ व्हेजिटेटिव्ह सेल. इम्पॉर्टंट. सो नॉन मोटाईल हे असतात मेल गॅमेट आणि त्यांना कॅरी करण्यासाठी ट्यूब न्यूक्लियस काम करतं. सो पोलन ट्यूबमध्ये जेव्हा 3 न्यूक्लिएट स्टेज दिसणार आहे त्याला म्हणायचं मॅच्युअर्ड गॅमेटोफाइट और फुल्ली डेव्हलप गॅमेटोफाइट. नाव याच्यामध्ये अजून 2 गोष्टी त्याने सांगितल्या आहेत की मायटॉटिक डिव्हिजन ऑफ जनरेटिव्ह सेल टेक्स प्लेस इदर इन पोलन ग्रेन और इन द पोलन ट्यूब. आता मी म्हटलं की ही जे जनरेटिव्ह सेल आहे याची डिव्हिजन ही आतमध्ये पण होऊ शकते आणि बाहेर पोलन ट्यूबमध्ये पण होऊ शकते. सो दॅट इज द इम्पॉर्टंट थिंग यू मस्ट रिमेंबर. नाव दिस इज द एंड ऑफ द पार्ट नंबर 3 where we have learned about development of male gametophyte. You can see here. Now in the next part we will talk about again the female gamete, that is ovule, and its development or female gametophyte. अशा पद्धतीने या टॉपिक मध्ये आपण बऱ्याच गोष्टी पाहिलेल्या आहेत. आता आपण थोडं पुढच्या टॉपिकमध्ये एक व्हिडिओ मी तुम्हाला दाखवतो, मग आपण पुढच्या टॉपिकला जाणार आहोत. त्या व्हिडिओमध्ये आता मी जेवढ्याही प्रोसेस सांगितल्या असेक्शुअल ते सेक्शुअलच्या मधल्या, ते सेक्शुअल रिप्रोडक्शन होतं कसं, त्याच्यातल्या स्टेप्स काय आहेत, कुठले पार्ट्स त्याच्यामध्ये पार्टिसिपेट करतात, हे आपण पुढच्या पार्टमध्ये बघू. थँक्यू सो मच. थँक्यू व्हेरी मच. फ्रेंड्स, लेट्स स्टार्ट विथ द next part of the chapter 1, that is part number 4, reproduction in lower and higher plants. Now in this part we are going to study about the development of female gametophyte. In the last lecture we have seen male gametophyte. Now it's a female gametophyte, so we must talk about the female organ first, isn't it? So in this part we are going to learn about what is gynoecium, what is its structure, what is the process of megasporogenesis, structure of female gametophyte, that is embryo sac, and development of female gametophyte. Now these are the points that we are going to cover. या टॉपिक मध्ये आपण गायनोशियमच्या बाबतीत चर्चा करणार आहोत. लेट्स गो टू द नेक्स्ट पार्ट. Now what is the structure of flower that we have already seen, but in the flower we are focusing on the female organ known as carpel or a gynoecium. The members are called carpel, another name is pistil. So individual member of gynoecium is known as megasporophyll. A flower with many free carpels is called as apocarpous flower, and when the flower is having the carpels fused together, then it is called syncarpous flower. This all we have already learned in the last year morphology chapter. So focus on gynoecium again. The typical gynoecium is member of carpel and it shows 3 parts: ovary, style, and stigma. Now ovary is a solan part. It's a lower part. It contains many ovules. In some parts, in some gynoecium there are many ovules, or you can say it is having lots of ovule in the single ovary. Whereas tomato and lady's finger are multi-ovulate. They have lots of ovule, multi-ovulate structure. Style is the extension of ovary to stigma, so it is a tube-like structure, and it is the path for the male gametophyte to reach the ovule during fertilization process. That we'll see in the coming lectures. Now the last part is stigma. Stigma is having lots of shapes, size. It may be cap-like, it may be disc-like, it may be vase shape, it may be having lots of variety of shapes. it secretes sticky secretion and that traps the pollen grains. So during pollination it plays a very important role. So this is the structure of gynoecium, that is a structure of carpel. Now in the next, let's see what types of ovules are there. We are focusing on an ovule. It's a female gamete. So ovule has near about 6 types. In the higher plants, angiosperm, we have different types of ovule. Generally we talk about anatropous ovule, but apart from that there are so many types, and that is classification is based on orientation, form and position of the micropyle. Now micropyle is a part of ovule that we'll see after some time. With respect to funicle and chalaza, now all these are the parts of ovule. Now these are the types diagrammatically. First is orthotropous. Ortho means vertical, so this is the vertical ovule. Ana means inverted, it is an inverted ovule. It is a characteristic of dicots mostly. Then third one is a horizontal, called as hemianatropous, ranunculus. Example. Then camelotropous. Here it is again horizontal, but some of the parts are protruded out, curved, bean-like. Then amphitropous ovules. In most of the members it is a horseshoe shaped. And final one, which is covered by funiculus totally, so it is being wrapped inside this funiculus or the stalk, and that is a cercinotropous. Best example is cactus family, for example Opuntia. So they have such kind of wrapped ovules. So ovules are of variety of types. This is not given in our textbook. This is the NEET part. This is for CET and NEET JEE examination purpose. Then let's see the typical structure of anatropous ovule. ओव्हिलचं स्ट्रक्चर बघा, आपल्या बुक मध्ये हे डिटेल मध्ये दिलेलं आहे. 3 मार्काचा क्वेश्चन, 4 मार्काचा क्वेश्चन याच्यावर येऊ शकतो. Now what are the different parts? We will go one by one. So ovule is present in the ovary. Now it is attached to the placenta through a stalk called as funicle. So first part is funicle. You can see this is a stalk. Then second part is a hilum. Hilum is actually attachment of the ovule with the stalk. It is a junction. Then integuments. Integuments are the layers that encircle the nucellus part where there is an embryo sac or female gametophyte. Then mouth of the ovule is known as micropyle. It has coverings of integuments. Integuments are actually the layers. Then chalaza is the base or the opposite end of micropyle. ओव्हिलचा जो फाउंडेशन आहे तो चलाजा आहे, माउथ जे आहे ते मायक्रोफाइल आहे. So it encloses lot of sporogenous mass of cells that is called nucellus, and it is used as a food material. Embryo sac, this is the innermost structure which is also referred as female gametophyte. Let us talk about this, how female gametophyte is developed. Now this is a structure of ovule. Now next, after this we will talk about formation of ovule, that is megasporogenesis. Simply, formation of the haploid megaspore from the diploid megaspore mother cell is known as megasporogenesis. Okay, या मेगास्पोर मदर सेल पासून सिंगल स्ट्रक्चर तयार होणार, that is haploid. So MMC is in the nucellus in the center but towards micropylar end of the ovule. Okay, so basic types of development are monosporic. सिंगल स्पोर पासून ओव्ह्यूल बनत असेल तर मोनोस्पोरिक. सेकंड, 2 ओव्ह्यूल पासून बनत असेल तर बायस्पोरिक. 3 पासून, 4 पासून तर ते टेट्रा, पेंटा, like this. Megaspores are usually arranged in linear tetrad. See this. So mother cell divides twice. 4 cells are formed. Out of that, top 3 they are degenerated and single lore becomes functional megaspore. Now this functional megaspore divides again into two cells. So you can have the two further mitotically divide to form four nucleated cells, 4 cells. Further it goes again into another division, forms the 8 celled or rather 8 type of nuclei, and that rearrangement of this nuclei takes place. So this type of development from the single megaspore is known as monosporic development. Polygonum type is the best example. Bisporic, Allium cepa, onion is the best example. And in tetrasporic we have Peperomia. Now these are the examples of their development. But remember very important thing. An ovule generally has single embryo sac. कुठल्याही ओव्ह्यूल मध्ये जनरली एकच एम्ब्रियो सॅक असतो आणि तो एम्ब्रियो सॅक हा 8 न्यूक्लिएट स्टेटचा असतो. त्याची रिअरेंजमेंट ही अशी होते की एका टोकाला म्हणजे ओव्ह्यूलच्या चलाजा एंडला 3 सेल आणि मायक्रोपायलर एंडला 3 सेल आणि मध्यभागी 2 सेल असं ते रिअरेंजमेंट होतं न्यूक्लियाचं. आणि शेवटी मग मधल्या न्यूक्लियामध्ये युनियन होतो आणि ती डिप्लॉइड बनते. आणि इकडे वरच्या बाजूला 3 त्या अँटीपोडल्स त्यांना नाव दिलं जातं आणि इकडचे जे काही आहे त्याला एक ॲपरेटस असं नाव दिलं जातं. So let's talk about this development in detail again. How it starts. MMC, just now I told you this is a chart showing the development. So MMC by 2 meiotic development shows 4 megaspores. These 4 megaspores, out of that 3 degenerate, 1 becomes functional, it undergoes 3 mitotic divisions and further it develops into embryo sac, which is known as female gametophyte. Let's see what is it. So development of female gametophyte, how it takes place. Now this diagram is there in your textbook. As I told you, it starts with single cell called MMC, megaspore, mother cell. This divides twice, meiotically 4 cells are formed. Tetrad is called. Out of that 3 top cells degenerate, only one becomes functional. Now this functional megaspore further grows and divides, redivides. So consecutive 3 mitotic division takes place. So single gives you 2, 2 gives you 4, 4 gives you 8. So you get finally 8 nucleate structure. याचाच अर्थ असा की आपल्याला जो फायनली मेगास्पोर मिळणार आहे म्हणजे एम्ब्रियो सॅक मिळणार आहे तो 8 न्यूक्लियसचा असतो, पण त्याच्यामध्ये 7च सेल्स असतात. सो याच्यामध्ये रिअरेंजमेंट जी होते ती इथे पण दाखवलेली बघा. या 3 सेल अँटीपोडल म्हणून चलाजा एंडकडे जातात आणि या 3 सेल त्याच्यापैकी या 2 जे आहेत त्यांना आपण सायनर्जिड्स म्हणतो आणि त्याच्या मागे जी आहे ती मोठी म्हणजे एग सेल आहे आणि मध्यभागी जे आहे ते सेकंडरी न्यूक्लियस. सो दिस इज हाऊ द एम्ब्रियो सॅक is being developed. That is a development of female gametophyte. So finally it is 7-celled 8 nucleate structure. Now let us talk about structure of embryo sac. Now I told you embryo sac has 3 cells at micropylar end. So these are 2 synergids. This is egg cell, secondary nucleus and antipodals at the chalaza end. So this is basically a structure. Now what is the important part? You can see here filiform apparatus in the synergids. These filiform apparatus are nothing but the hairy structures from synergids. त्यांना केसेस आल्यासारखे ते दिसतात आणि हे जे synergids ज्यांच्यामध्ये filiform apparatus आहे they are used in the attraction of the male gametes during fertilization and that is called as chemotaxy. Chemical attraction, कारण male gametes are non-motile. So at chalaza end 3 antipodal cells are present which are used for nutrition. So in the center these 2 nuclei. Okay, so here that is called as diploid secondary nucleus. Thus embryo sac is 7-celled and 8 nucleate form. It is colorless endosporic and is concealed inside the ovule enclosed by ovary. So this is a brief description of the embryo sac. Now, actually this embryo sac which is present inside the ovule, isn't it? So म्हणून त्याने म्हटलेलं आहे की एंडोस्पोरिक आतमध्ये डेव्हलपमेंट आहे, कन्सील्ड पॅक्ड इन द ओव्हरी. सो अँजिओस्पर्मचे कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक आहे 7 celled 8 nucleate type of embryo sac or female gametophyte. Here we come to the end of the part number 4, and in the next we are going to learn the next part called as pollination, agents of pollination and different types of pollination and pollinating agents. So let us see this different biotic community that helps in pollination. So pollination will be our next part. So thank you very much for your bearance or listening carefully to this 4th part. Thank you.